Halo semuanya, selamat datang kembali. Udah, hari ini kita nge-live. Kita lanjutin dulu nih yang Slay the Princess dulu ya. Kita lanjutin Slay the Princess. Habis itu nanti kita beralih ke game lainnya. Oke, mau ditamatin sih nanti ini. Jadi kita lihat endingnya itu bagaimana guys. Karena terakhir pas kita mainin tuh, itu tuh wah kayak nggak jelas gitu loh. Jadi kayak kita nggak tahu siapa yang jahat siapa yang baik nih di sini. Jadi gue tuh pengen tahu gitu loh. Ya masa kalian nggak penasaran sih? Kalau gue sih penasaran bro. Nggak tahu sih, gue doang mungkin kali ya penasaran ya. Tapi kurang lebih gitu. Wah kayak nggak jelas gitu. Jadi kayak kita nggak tahu siapa yang jahat siapa yang baik. Oke. Nih sambil gua setting bentar ya, kawan-kawan. Mana. Oke. Kita continue berarti itu terakhir sampai kita tuh terakhir gua terakhir bawa princessnya keluar yang dia ngerasukin gua guys. Jadi princessnya tuh masukin gua terus udah inti gitu aja. Kita continue.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin, and in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Naratornya tuh gini-gini mulu sumpah.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Terakhir tuh gua langsung bunuh dia dan oke, kita coba tanya kira-kira kita dapat hadiah apa.
You have to slay her before you get it. I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Masanya terakhir kali pas kita ngebunuh, kita tuh nggak apa-apa gitu. Do you have any evidence to back this up? Ya bener. Kita harus tahu. Kita tuh nggak tahu kenapa princessnya itu di lock di basement. Kita nggak tahu nih kenapa. Ya kita tuh harus cari tahu nih. Do you have any evidence to back this up?
You're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Tapi gue nggak merasa my journey is end gitu loh. Oke, benar.
She's not dangerous. She's just a princess. The danger comes if she gets out, which she will unless you do something about it. It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Unbi, kita bisa dapat unbi, guys.
The more specifics you have, the harder it will be for you to do this very important job. She's a princess.
Kita tuh perfeksionis, kita harus tahu sampai titik-titik akhir-akhirnya.
And when they do, everything will come crashing down.
No. Dan dia tahu loh semua itu bakal hancur anjir.
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off.
Oke. Ini ada yang
said I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
Oke. Ini ada beberapa keanehan nih. Karena pas kita di momen itu ada voice of heroes terakhir sama ada voice of Oke, gua nge-lag guys. Jadi kita langsung lanjut aja.
Appreciation and exercise
Gua nge-lag, gua lupa apa lagi.
bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up.
Oke, jadi
Before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation.
Oke.
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
Nah, masalahnya gua nggak tahu
Yes,
gitu loh.
of course, you do your job and slay her.
Oke.
I guess
Kita
we'll just have
ngomong.
to see what happens. But a word of warning: if you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed.
Oke. Gua
So sure, go talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
Oke, jadi ini naratornya ini tuh bakal berubah jadi suara yang lain kalau misalnya kita
Short path to the cabin.
mengambil pilihan yang lain juga, guys. Menurut gue sih gitu.
We're not gonna go through with this, right?
Bentar, itu.
She's a princess.
Oh, itu
We're
voice of
supposed to
hero-nya.
save princesses, not slay them.
Ini tulisan donaturnya gue
Ignore him.
kecilin
He
deh.
doesn't know what he's talking about.
Kegedean, kasihan gue nanti kalian gak bisa baca. Nah, dah gue kecilin. Kameranya nge-freeze gak? Enggak kan? Kameranya oke kok, kameranya oke. Ya, terus itu Kevin. Kita tamatin guys game ini, sumpah. Gue udah capek dengan game
The
ini.
interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Oke. Kita langsung enter the basement tanpa ambil pisau kali ini. Gue penasaran, sumpah.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an
Gak bisa di-skip,
oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
What's what?
Hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Oke, kayak suara dia kenapa sangat lembut sekali ya? Oh ya lah, I'm here to save you.
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever.
I see. You're trying to get her to lower her guard. It's a gamble, but it might work.
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
Oke.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
Sumpah cakep banget ya,
There's
Cok.
a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Penggambarannya bagus, sumpah.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be of threat to anyone?
Bener kan?
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this.
Nggak, maksudnya ini kan gue nggak bawa apa.
Forever.
Gue tonjok dia
I
sampai
hope you brought something
memar.
to do with these chains.
You were lying when you said you were here to rescue her, but regardless of your intentions, breaking her out of those chains would be a big mistake. Don't even try it.
Benar.
Okay.
Benar.
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life.
Baik, kita harus tanya dulu apa yang bakal dilakukan kalau
She
misalnya dia
knows
keluar.
what she'd do. She's
Aku
just
keluar.
searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter.
Dia marah.
It's not like you'd believe me. Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
Jadi kita harus tahu dulu nama dia
Like I
siapa.
said, you can call me Princess if you'd like.
Dia nggak tahu nama dia sendiri, guys.
I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Bener. Nama lu siapa, Kocak?
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Yeah.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant.
Ini masalahnya,
Okay, but actually, what has she
dia
been
makan
eating?
apa, anjir? Tuh nggak dia
She
mati,
has to
Cok.
eat, right? That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
Gua rasa sih enggak ya, itu di...
So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help. But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
Oh, cunning banget, anjir.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
Waduh. Oke. Pilihannya gue bisa bantu dia keluar, ngebunuh dia, atau gue kunci. Dia gue kunci.
I know you think this is some kind of fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here.
And that's the point, no one wins here.
It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work if we just stay here and keep watch. No one
Bang,
has to die.
jangan nengok.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way back to the stairs.
Fine. Turn your back on me. But it won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? don't think she's bluffing.
Ini cowok prinsesnya ini aneh anjir. Tapi narator kita juga aneh cowok, nggak ada yang bisa kita percaya anjir. Apa? Gimana apa dah?
It'll be the death of all of us, but fine. We'll do it your way.
Oke, kita kunci dia.
You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade.
Pisaunya mana ya?
Okay, we can make this work.
Oke, pisaunya mana ya?
You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out?
What the fuck? Kok dia bisa nyampe pintu anjir?
It's not like this little door will hold you very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker.
Ini makin kuat anjir tuh, fuck ngeri banget anjir.
It doesn't.
I could be innocent and harmless if I want to be. Teasing me with fresh air and a chance to finally live freely doesn't inspire me to play nice.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table
mati kita,
shoved
Cok.
away.
Mati kita, Cok.
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
What the fuck?
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach.
Bangke.
Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills.
So mata gede banget, Cok.
If you'd only help me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
Mati dong anjir
Let's
gua.
say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything
Oh,
goes dark, and you die.
bangke ku mati, Cok.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin,
It's a princess.
you're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Oke, apa?
A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Shh. What if he hears us?
Whoa.
That's a very good question, little voice. What if he does hear you? Shit. I think you'll find yourselves very hard-pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not that it matters right now, because like I said, this is the first time we've met. Still, I'd rather not get off on the wrong foot. We've a world to save after all. We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to disagree.
Okay.
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that... If you're back, we couldn't trust either of you, and as far as I'm concerned, we still can't. All we did was lock her away. And how'd that work out for you? No comment. Well then, congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right.
Okay.
And your solution is to send us back in there. Do you want us to slay the princess, or do you want the princess to slay us? Obviously, I want you to slay her. One of you poses a threat to the world, and the other doesn't. Anyways, I believe your other question was something along the lines of, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess, and now everyone's right back where they started. Sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Speak for yourself. From my perspective, there were plenty of consequences. I'm never going to forget the way she just made us stop working.
Paranoid itu suara
That's
narator
only
sebelumnya,
scratching the
anjir.
surface. If what you said is true, it begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or have you found yourself in another world altogether? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
Kita nggak tahu juga sih sebenarnya dia lari kemana sih.
If she brought an end to everything and everyone, how are we supposed to stop her? What do you want from us? I want you to succeed. You'll find a way. You're the only one who can. Just be quick about it. She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin and you'll be fine.
Fuck no.
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job and save the world.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Oh, apa ini ya? Ini ya apa? Ketutupan ya? Taruh sini aja kali ya, ini kan gak penting nih, di kiri atas. Gua taruh kameranya di kiri atas, ketutupan tuh. Thank you guys yang udah ngomong guys. Makasih Cindy, makasih udah ngomong.
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
Ada juga. Nggak bisa kabur.
A warning before you go any further.
Oke, ya ada.
She will lie. I don't think lying and cheating is her thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away. It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone.
Bang, itu makan apaan, Bang? Bong goreng.
The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone
Itu ada
table
yang nengok gak
knocked
sih
on the
guys?
side in the corner of the room. A pristine blade stands between you and the
Itu ada yang
open,
nengok gak sih guys?
inviting basement doorway.
Suka kayak
The blade is your implement.
ada yang nengok gak sih?
You'll need it if you want to do this right. Hold on. What happened to the door? There was a door here last time. It's just an empty frame. She's already got out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us?
Ya anjir.
I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done.
Fuck no, lu nggak ngeliat nih ada yang
So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task awaits, and only you can do it. You're right. I was so stuck on the eyes watching us that I didn't even notice it there. What are you two talking about? There isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the floor, and the open doorway leading to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. We have to look at it. Unless that's what he wants us to do. And pretending it isn't there is a trick to get us to do exactly what he wants. Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do?
Ada
You
pintunya,
waste
coy,
time
ini ngeri banget,
cleaning
anjir.
yourself instead of doing what needs
Tuh
to be done.
gue benci liminal kayak gini anjir.
You walk up to the wall next to the empty basement door frame. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. Did he make it go away? Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it hidden so bad. Very different. He changed it, didn't he? It's like he's trying to make us doubt our reality. Calm down. Maybe the three of you just think everything is different because you haven't been here before. Enough of this past life nonsense. You haven't died, you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this. You reach down and pick the blade up off the floor. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Steel can't lie to us. The blade is the only thing you need to finish your task. You're more than capable of pulling this off, so long as you don't lose faith in yourself.
Kita save.
Those are the words of someone who knows he's sending us to our death. You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps suspended in darkness.
Ada yang ngedip.
More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Okay, we need a game plan. Last time we were here, just being close to her was enough to kill us. Didn't you hear my warning a minute ago? She can't be trusted. Talking won't do
Kita harus
any
ngomong.
good.
Kita harus ngomong.
Something tells me she isn't going to be very keen on talking anyway. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you. Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again. Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
Oke, jadi kita harus fokus untuk
I
membunuh.
wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter. Because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
Guys, kita udahin aja nggak sih? Wah, oke gitu gue do nothing anjir.
Decide it's best to do nothing. As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
And you brought a little knife with you. Cute.
There has to be a way out of this. Think. Think! What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
Your vision cuts out as your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart,
Fuck, dibunuh lagi kok, Cok. Anjir, mati lagi sial.
nerves. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. Heart, lungs. What are you doing? I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more as your body reapproaches death. Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again. You sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left. Yes, I'm sure. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath.
Dia lagi.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you?
Nerves, heart.
Oh, jadi gini wujud asli lu koplak.
Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us. Lungs. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. Your weapon is still in your hands. Strike at her and end this before it's too late. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs.
I tried to leave while you suffocated, but that stupid cabin wouldn't let me. So I started to drag your body out with me, and then... well, you died before I could get to the door. And then I was here, and now you're here too. I don't think I can leave without you. And dead doesn't count. And as much as I love what we have going on, I have bigger plans than tormenting one poor little creature forever. I want to leave. Because I don't want to. And even if I did, I don't have to. Look at the way you're struggling to stay alive. It's taking everything you have to keep your heart pumping right now. And I'm enjoying the show.
The princess leans forward, bringing her masked lips close to your ear.
If I want to see you gone, all I need to do is break your concentration.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. She slowly runs her velvet glove across the base of your neck. It feels like static. And then... Shit, make her stop. Hey, snap out of it. Okay, deep breath. Deep breath, we're fine.
Oh gila anjir, princessnya ngeri banget coy yang ini anjir, what the fuck.
Heart, you're back.
One moment, and then you're gone. Just like that. Ah, and there's the fear.
She pulls away.
But that wouldn't be very fun, now would it? I've already done that.
Lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver,
I am being nice. You're alive, aren't you? And you died of fright as soon as you saw me last time. I didn't think keeping you alive was an option. But it looks like that's not a problem anymore. At least not for me. You seem miserable.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart,
And right now, I'm in control.
Fuck, bener anjir. Dia in control.
So, you might want to be a little nicer to me.
She raises one long gloved finger, its tip hovering just over your skin, seeming to enjoy the lingering threat. But she withdraws, sparing you another momentary glimpse of death.
Destroy is such an unenlightened way of putting it. So sudden, so violent, so little nuance. I'm not going to destroy the world, but I am going to hold it in my hands and squeeze it. I'm going to make it afraid, just like I've made you afraid.
Wah, anjir nih lunatic, Cok.
The world needs fear, doesn't it? Every terror I bring would make the good times so much better. Well, I'm practically doing a public good. So what harm is there really in letting me out?
Are you serious? You fling the blade into the void, denying yourself the opportunity to ever slay her and finish your mission. Nobody's happy here, but maybe it's for the best.
You poor deluded thing.
Kaget gua
A
anjing.
single moment of bravery changes you into something you're not. I am what I am, and you're always going to be a coward.
She raises a hand to her mask and pulls it down. You don't get the chance to see what lies beneath before it envelops you. Like a creeping mold, the complete reality of your existence threads its way through your mind. Birth, death, birth again, decay and bloom, a million stitches from a million microscopic wounds you've inflicted on everyone you've ever met, with every muscle you've moved and every word you've ever spoken. No.
Let me out.
Your existence hurts them.
Let me out.
A lonely soul in a room by itself, weeping. It lives for 80 years and then it's gone. And then it's there again.
Let me out.
A reprieve. A good life. Love. Children. A steady career. Recognition from your peers. Here one moment, gone the next. The worms have found their orifices.
Let me out.
Diagnosis. It forgets everything it is. Anger, rage, distance, poverty. The lonely soul is lonely again. Love turns to mockery. It dies. It is reborn. Worse. Lonelier.
Let me out.
No. What's happening to us?
Let me out.
This is all too much. I can't keep going. You can't keep going? Well, what are you talking about?
Oops, I think I broke you. I'll see you soon. You'll know what to do.
Hah? 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 The moment of clarity.
You're on a path in the... Shit. What the hell was that? Who are we? What are we doing? There was a princess, I think. It's all so fuzzy. It hurts when I try to remember. You shouldn't know about the princess. At least, not until I... You've already been here, haven't you? I guess. It feels so long ago, almost like we've never left. We have to let her out. No, that's the opposite of what you're here to do. You have to slay her. Slay? We decided not to do that, didn't we? Yeah, we're supposed to let her out. It's really the only way this works out for us. If you think about it, she's the one with power here, Nobody else can do much of anything.
Wah, ada berapa voice anjing?
No, we were supposed to keep her trapped there forever. I think. We're supposed to be unfeeling. How many times do I have to tell you to snuff out your heart? We can't be unfeeling. Not when there's so much fear everywhere. There's nothing for us to do. We've already tried everything. We love her, so we have to set her free.
What the hell? Gua rusak.
Can we love something that hates us? Can we love something that hurts us?
Oh wow, ini poetic sekali. Can we love something that hates us? Can we love something that hurts us? We can. Actually, we can.
To be given an ounce of kindness from something so cruel would be more pure than any other love.
Wah, ini sakit anjir
Why are
voice-voice.
there so many of us? There aren't supposed to be so many of us.
Bener?
This is bad. You need to get a grip. What did you let happen? How many times have you been here? Of course we're wrong. She's the only thing that's right. Yes, obviously they're all wrong. What are you going to do about it? Many times. It feels like we've been here forever. But it also feels like we've barely been here at all. It doesn't matter.
Oh, what the hell?
Yes, we just have to do what she says and then everything will be fine. It won't. It will be for us. She said so. You're part of everything. If things aren't fine for everything, they won't be fine for you. There's no difference between fine and not fine. It just goes on and on. What does here even mean if you really think about it? Shut up. You were here. Every single time. You did your best, really. There's just a pecking order. And our cruel and beautiful goddess sits atop it, right where she's always belonged. You're lucky. What I would give to be able to forget. I've tried to keep them numb, but they're all too soft. A shame, really. We've tried that. It doesn't work. Our hearts always brought us back to her. The deck is stacked. So many paths, and they're all circles. There's nothing worth making sense of. They're clearly all traumatized. And yet, you aren't. We break apart, and you stay the same. Yeah, what's your secret? Why can you break the rules when we can't? You do nothing. You can't just do nothing. You have to do something. That's a new one. Huh. Do you think it'll work?
Iya, soalnya.
No. Nothing ever
Iya, oke.
works.
Oke, dia pesimis banget.
You're the worst one.
Wow.
He's not the one who got us into this mess. At least I keep you breathing around her. See? That's why the sad one's the worst. The jumpy one tries. Who cares? All of you just yap about nothing. And that kind of attitude is why you're in the top half. Great. And that's why you're not the top. I want to see what nothing does for us. And right now all of you aren't letting nothing happen. Hopefully this stuff's all the rest of them someplace quiet. You need me, and you need to not have them.
And you need to not have them.
Killed by himself? Oh, all of us have gotten all the rest of us killed at one point or another. That's hardly even a concern now. As the little voices bicker amongst themselves, you do your best to stay still in the woods. It is difficult, and the more time you spend waiting, the harder it will be to sharpen your focus when you need it. I I wonder what we look like right now. Are we standing? Sitting? I like to think we have an air of dignity. My point exactly.
Gak ada pilihan lain guys, kita harus ke cabin
You
tetap.
slowly make your way through the umbral forest, bumping against unseen trees as you grasp through the darkness for a way forward. But eventually, you do make it to the cabin. Or rather, you make it to the place a cabin should have been. Instead, all you find is an empty hill. No, this isn't right. There's a cabin there. There's always supposed to be a cabin there. Don't ask him about the mirror. He always says he never sees it. He always lies. And he always makes it gone. Stay focused. You still have a job to do, and it's best not to be distracted by fraying thoughts. There is no mirror. You know that as well as I do. She's still here, buried deep inside the earth. Just walk up the hill. You always give too much space to the others. It's why you always lose. They've been hurt too much. It's why they are the way they are. Exactly. They are delusions, and all that catering to them will do is drag you down to their level. You have to keep moving. Or you could just give up. You walk up the hill, hesitating just beyond the bounds of the cabin. The cabin that isn't there. You've got to clean the mirror, haven't you? You've got to see what's in it. Smash it to pieces. She's on the other side, and we have to let her out. It's the only way we can be free. It's the only way we can have our thoughts back.
Bener-bener.
Just go around it. Just do something. It doesn't matter what. Proceed. Proceed to where? I'm afraid you're going to have to be a little more specific.
Pilihannya cuma proceed, kocak.
That's another new one. How do you keep coming up with new things? I hope this works better than nothing did. Of course it'll work. He always makes the best decisions. It's why he gets to make them. And it already has worked. It's gone, don't you see? We're one step closer to her. The interior of the cabin is much the same as the exterior of the cabin. A dull, fuzzy, dreamlike nothing. It's empty and isolating, but there's just enough vague shape and unknown texture to suggest the structure they're in. Wrong and unsettling as it may be, the only object of note is a pristine blade buried in the dirt floor, a hint of its shining edge teasing through the sediment. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. Take it. It's the only way forward.
Oh, bentar. Ini kayaknya leaderboardnya ganggu nih. Wah, harus ini. Oke, pilihannya take the blade atau you have to take the blade. Sama aja sih sebenarnya udah.
You reach down to take the blade, but as you do, the ground beneath it shifts, the weapon sinking deep into the earth. You lean over the hole and gaze into the abyss. It is so very deep in the bowels of the earth. You see something staring back at you. It fills you with dread. It's her. She's watching us. She never stops watching us.
You really are a coward.
With every word she speaks, the princess in the pit blinks closer.
I was joking when I said that way back when. You know that, right?
Closer.
I was having some fun, and I guess I wanted to see if I could melt you.
And closer.
Tangannya ada banyak anjay.
Watching over me forever? That was so brave.
And closer.
Yeah.
But forever is so long. And time erodes everything. Except for me. I've already taken your will, and you're not getting it back. All that's left is for you to take me along. And let me out. It'll be so much fun. You and me, together, exploring the world and spreading fear wherever we go. Well, mostly just me. But you'll get to be there too. A witness. Oh, I can even make you a little cage if you want. Gilded and everything. Now don't pause. Don't try to resist. I've already molded you into what I need. And you lost your power so long ago. Don't bother working yourself into a frenzy to get it back.
Do something. Do anything that isn't taking her hand. You extend your hand to hers. For all her past cruelties, the moment feels gentle, tender even. I can't believe you just made me say that. I hate you. The motion is difficult at first, as if something still resists your efforts. But then that resistance gives way, and it's over.
And that's the end. I wonder what we're going to do next.
What the hell? Is that a monster?
I didn't think I'd be so tired. Why is it so cold?
She's gone. Yeah. I can finally think again. Almost.
Oh, jadi kita benar-benar harus keluarin dia, anjir. What the fuck?
That mirror's back. What does that mean for us? I'm sure it'll be whisked away just like her.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it won't be gone. Doesn't seem like there's much else to do here. Finally, we can smash it.
Okay, hook, anjir.
Oh, will you stop with the smashing? What do we say, boys? One last vain attempt to look at ourselves.
Yes!
Yeah. I think I'd like that. Seems we've got a majority. All that's left is to give it a look. Something tells me that this is the end of the line. But I don't feel bad about it. Already. It feels okay. The fear's gone. I'm done fighting. My heart feels quiet. The game was always going to end. I'll be free of all of you. I'm ready for the truth. I'm ready to sleep. I'm just ready to be anywhere that isn't here. Boys, it's been an honor.
Oh iya, anjir. I have withered. Oh. Kenapa ya?
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same. It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me? How strange of you to ask me then.
Karena gue nggak tahu.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it. As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit, even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul. This one is a waiting mall, an inevitable destination where all roads end. She will make for a wise heart. Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be. My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done. I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
Nggak, masalahnya nih gue nggak tahu gitu loh. Ada berapa jenis princess anjir, kok kayak gini mah bisa banyak banget sumpah. Wah gila. Ini udah jam 2.27 nih.
If that remains your choice when all is said and done, then you may try. But know that I do not wish you harm, even if you attempt to destroy me. The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me.
Oh.
I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
Dia sendiri masih belum tahu anjir.
We will know when we near our destination.
Nih kalimatnya udah berubah nih dari yang terakhir yang ngomong nih. We will know when we near our destination. Berarti kurang lebih masih banyak, soalnya gue baru kirim ke dia tuh 2.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Oke. Kok mati tiba-tiba gitu, oke.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Oke ini.
That's the spirit.
Nah, kita semangat gitu kan.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin.
Gua bunuh lo.
Find the princess within.
Ya. Kali ini kita coba kalau kita excited banget.
She's a princess.
Tapi kita excited, tapi kita langsung bunuh gitu. Enggak langsung, kita ngomong-ngomong terus tiba-tiba bunuh gitu, kayak makasih gitu. Bye gitu. Coba kalau misalnya kita ngebunuh dia tanpa pisau.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Apa kita bawa? Kita bawa.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Oke.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hai.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
No. No.
Then drop the knife.
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Benar.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. Unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship. Too long.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Kita nanya pendapat dia tentang kenapa orang berpikir dia akan menghancurkan dunia.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
Oh, salah ya.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful. At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me, that doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you?
What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
Oh, if you convince me enough, I can.
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person.
Wah, ini game
The
makin seru
subjugated
sih anjir.
monarch, no less. You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade.
Benar-benar agak cunning ya.
She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right?
Oke, kita
She is.
potong
I'm
tangannya.
sure of it.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
Gua ewe. Oke, bentar.
You
Bentar. Kita harus
know
mikir,
why you're here.
Kita harus mikir. Oke,
Oh, you have to be kidding me.
gua belum pernah coba.
You walk
Jadi
up
gua
to
harus
the
tahu.
chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
Fuck.
You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
Safety sih. Kita save.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Kita save the princess dulu. Kita coba save the princess dulu. Gimana reaksi saya? Aduh anjir. Save the princess.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm?
Ya anjir.
It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
What?
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade.
Oh,
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease.
gua dibunuh!
Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck.
Fuck! Gua mau nyelamatin lu tapi gua dibunuh.
Isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time.
Enggak.
Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Oke, kita langsung ke cabinnya udah.
A warning. Before she will lie. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
No, I didn't. Wink. Okay, I need to find the key, like, for real.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. He definitely did not. Does a mirror not count as furniture of note to you? Because it should. There isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
Gue udah ngeliat
There's
interior kayak gini tuh
definitely a mirror.
berapa kali anjir, pusing
isn't.
kepala gue.
I think you know what we have to do. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back. You take the blade from the table. Good idea. Much better to be armed. The door to the basement creaks open, reveal her.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please.
Does she remember us? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier.
Kita
Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Benar-benar. Benar.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me? Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
Huh?
First you make a comment about having been here before, and now this. It's complicated things. How? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck. If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably. I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary, even. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright? Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark? The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
Oh, ini game seru, cuy.
I won't. Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming. Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, and I don't see any keys in your hands either. So I'm afraid my only way out is another surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck? Or does she think she'd survive a beheading? You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests. Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
Bener. Gak masalahnya ini ada 3. Gimana sih kita mau nyelamatin tangan oke. Ini. Gimana, Cok?
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't.
Bener.
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Kocak.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Gue penasaran sih.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am. Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall.
Kan ini
The princess
apa?
watches you with focus
Random,
interest
guys. Gak ada.
though she can't
Nggak ada
fully
kegunaannya.
hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next. What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck. And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement.
Excuse me?
Yes? Are we stuck here now? Yes.
Lah kocak.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
Tapi kalau dibilang-bilang sih bener juga sih.
No. Yep. Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not. Nope.
That's rude. You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes.
Gila.
It passes
Ini emang gua mati,
and
anjir.
passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold.
Ngobrol kayak apa? Kayak bahasa apa?
Inside.
Ekonomi dunia gitu kayak.
At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How can she be a threat when she doesn't do anything?
How exactly does that work?
It just does.
Wow.
But your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same.
Tapi mulai shaky gitu.
If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there. But then they get larger and larger.
I don't like small talk, remember?
Still rude. You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass, until suddenly there are no walls. And then... And?
I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us.
Huh?
So this is the outside world. It's cold.
Oh.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now.
No, that can't be right. There has to be something more.
Hah? Unraveled? Yumetunta na sekai ni nandambo kwa gitu. Unraveled. Ah. Oh, kita bakal ketemu si princessnya lagi anjir.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there? There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last. We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Oh, that's some deep words.
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond? It's nice to be with someone whose thoughts I can never know as mine. This one is determined, but also cautious. One that would rather let the world move around her than move it herself. She will make for a patient heart. Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be. If I did, I would already be awake.
Bener sih. Bener. Kayak ditanya, lu nanti 50 tahun ke depan, lu bakal jadi apa? Ya, mana gue tahu anjir. Kalau gue tahu mah 50 tahun ke depan, gue udah nyampe di umur segitu, kocak.
One, whatever you bring me next will be enough. And then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular. A final multitude.
Oke, berarti gue cuma butuh satu lagi. Kita udah nih. Oke, bentar.
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn. You've already tried waiting, but I understand if you need more time. I'll wait with you. I will see you when you return. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping?
Bentar. Ini gue bilang wait ya. Berarti jangan-jangan nanti gue keluar lagi.
If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An
Wah,
imaginary
jangan nanti gue ngulang lagi, guys. Maksudnya kayak ngulang pas waktu itu.
of its hand-drawn cage.
Gue harus buka game lagi dong.
Always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Lah kocak beneran dong anjay. Kan gue harus buka gamenya lagi, sialan. Aduh, kocak. Yeay. Ya, kita buka lagi gamenya. Sialan gue. Gue lupa anjir. Sumpah gue lupa. Nah nih. Nggak mau kebuka nih gamenya.
You have returned to me.
Oh,
Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
oh. I'm ready to go
The
back lah.
next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Everything goes dark and you die. Oke, gue mati udah berapa kali sumpah di game ini. Bring the prisoner to her, a patient heart.
You're on a path.
Oke,
You're
kita skip. Karena kita udah tahu.
Of course I haven't. I mean, maybe some. Don't mention it. It's all part of the job.
Okay.
You make your way. We're not going to ignore. The interior blade.
Kita enter the basement tanpa ada senjata.
The door to the basement, her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Just checking in on you, okay?
You are? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Dar. 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 Gosok di pantat. Dar.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Oke, ini sama kayak sebelumnya, tapi gue nggak bawa pedang aja.
Is someone else here? Your shouts, and I'll repeat myself. You try to... You make it easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
Anak kecil jangan nonton nih. Semua anak kecil jangan nonton bagian yang
She
gini.
rips her flesh from her bone. A sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Oke, kita save dulu. Kita save dulu.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade you cut into her. The blade is sharp, and it takes her limb falls to the ground. She didn't so much as utter a sound. No. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours.
Oh.
Blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. As the princess
Okay.
approaches... Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Stop that.
Kita cobain yang
It's
sama.
over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here.
Kayak gitu kita ngelakuin hal yang sama tapi dengan cutscene yang berbeda nih, guys.
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a course.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab
Coba
wound.
dibunuh, guys.
It won't be long before you
Apa
bleed.
pendarahan kontraksi ketiga? Anjir, kontraksi ketiga.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark. And you die.
Jangan nangis, Putri. Okay. The damsel. What is the damsel? Atau damsel itu apa?
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it. Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Sakit.
Those are two very different. Let's. If you, well, not. Oh, I wonder. I beg to differ. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that. Anyway, I believe your second question was. What do you mean? Yeah, if it's the latter, do you think the people. She would never. She's a convoluted. Just be quick. She just can. Maybe it's her beauty that threatens the world.
Oh wow, positif sekali.
Sure, it's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out. It's unfortunate, I know, but it's just the way it is. Great, now... That's right, you can't stop all of us. We're going to sweep her off her feet if it's the last thing anyone does. Are these really the sorts of people you'd like to align yourself with? You're not at the cabin yet. You still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes that you make the right call. A warning. she will love. We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
Bener-bener sim banget ya anjir ya.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Kira-kira bentuknya bakal berubah kayak gimana kali ini?
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place. Very different. Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous... So focus up. You take... I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight, we need an equally dashing sword. That way she'll know we can defend her from her enemies. Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge, and hopefully it doesn't get turned on us. Again, there's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. But it's still a stone basement. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time.
Ini tergantung
hear
kita
wedding bells
dengan voice
already.
siapa kayaknya ya. Itu voice princess-nya
I've held my
berubah
tongue
gitu.
till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
Ini tangannya nggak ada.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before. That's right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
You died, and now we're talking.
Huh?
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone. She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
Iya bener.
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess?
Dia
She
malah sim
wants to
anjing.
make us
Tapi kenapa dia sim banget sih?
My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
Then I didn't end the world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. I'm not so sure. If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
Oke. Ini kenapa jadi kayak gini nih? Feeling gue nggak enak.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride, to a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
Kita rescue.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? Yes. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you. There's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. Are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back, and everyone out there is saved. Is that a threat? You know what we'll do if you try it. You're going to regret this.
What do we do now? That sounds perfect.
As the princess takes your hand in hers, you let your blade tumble uselessly to the floor, and with it tumbles the last hope for the entire world. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending.
Tai simping.
I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with.
Kenapa tangannya ada ya?
You and the princess walk up the stairs, hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair! We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you
just
have
met
ever
her.
known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Well, I don't know. Do you think I can?
Of course she can. You believe in her, right? Nobody is leaving this basement.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Oke, kita coba.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. Blech. And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs. Her freedom and the world's ruin
Her
are just a few
freedom.
moments away. If you don't mind, I'm going to fix myself a drink before you ruin everything. If I'm about to see the end of the world, I'd rather not see it sober. You know, if her walking out that door is really going to end the world, can't we all just stay here? Seems like an easy win for everyone. That's not how this works. Yes, what he said. That's not how this works. Obviously, we have to leave with her. It's our happy ending.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside.
Oh.
Our happy ending at last.
Oh.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
Kita bunuh gitu juga sih.
She's gone. Is that a... But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right? Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
What do you mean you are nothing at all?
I think you know what I am.
Oh shit.
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
Oh.
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo. Likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me. Of course, that is by both necessity and design.
Giginya makin nambah ya setiap ini ya.
Construct exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon. And then it won't be able to work like that anymore. I do. The people out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable, I want you to remember that. Nobody alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty, there isn't much I can do to stop you. Then ask them, and make it quick. I won't last for long now that you can see me. It doesn't hurt. I don't feel pain. Not physically. We've already crossed the point of no return. There's no saving me now. Not that there's ever been much of me to save. Soon I'll be gone entirely, and you'll be left alone with your final choice. So allow me to make my final request. The princess contains death itself within her, but I wove you into being with all the power you need to destroy her forever. Do it. Slay her, and rid the world of death and suffering. I'm aware, and if I were you, I'd be more precious about your time. I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
Wah, kita di posisi yang kita nggak bisa ngapa-ngapain anjir. Aduh anjir, gua harus save kayak ini. All of this is you. You're the long, quiet, and vastness in God, and it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Bring the damsel to her. There is nothing. There is no final vessel for you to go. There is nothing for you to find. Wait. Oh, there's so much princess.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly. Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind. Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final...
Pilihan nih guys, pilihan.
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end, pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us. My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach, and you cannot rationalize that which defies logic. But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
Apaan anjir?
Your lover drives a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? But the stakes meant nothing to you. You had a desire, and you set that desire free. You lifting me and me lifting you, forever and ever and ever, consumed by true belief there was nothing that could hold us back. We were both taken by the moment. It was how things are meant to be. To question everything is to deny the truth in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. By believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck. Bound for eternity, you saw the need for impermanence, and it was through that need that you carved our freedom. Without impermanence, the suffering of living things is infinite. Would you strip my gifts away and leave everyone to suffer in the dark? Or, in time, would they see it as a curse?
There are few things more terrifying than one's own heart. And there is almost nothing more terrifying than sharing it with another. But the most terrifying thing of all is to leave one's heart unshared. You are the only thing like me, and I am the only thing like you. Could you bear the weight of an eternity alone? Do you dare to shape a reality of solitude and thrust it on creation?
I'm aware of what it did to you. The understanding you've returned to me is a gift. Unseen fingers dance across your skin. They remember the violence you inflicted on them, and yet they don't return it. I offer you absolution, and you take my hand in yours. You felt the pain you caused another, and you were willing to sacrifice everything you thought was yours to set me free. Without sin, there is no redemption. And without contrast, there can be nothing at all. Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
Ini harus di save dulu nih. Karena ini ada banyak yang gue pengen lakukan.
What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone. I'm all of them, I assume in the same way that you're all of you. They're still where you left them, stuck in the folds of this place. Part of me is with them, just like part of me is with you right now. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready? Then let's go. And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things? That'd be nice. A little comfort in an almost unfamiliar place. Oh, you made it here too? We never really got to talk to her, did we? This one, I mean. Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's not really a cabin, is it? It's that terrifying blend of everything. Only it doesn't feel so terrifying anymore. It's still shaped like a cabin, it's just different in places. There's still walls, a door to the basement, a table, that knife. Windows. You know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really included the windows in his cabin descriptions, did he? He mentioned the windows when we broke them. No mirror this time, either. I think it did whatever it needed to do. And I know you're still trying to find some middle ground, but if things go south, we're going to need that blade.
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
And I've been here since you left me here. No hard feelings, I'm just glad you're back to see this through. Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated.
Udah mulai klimaks ya guys ya. Udah mulai
Really
klimaks.
goes to show how much. Me too. He was a lot of fun. Really easy to mess with. Yeah, it's complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning, hasn't he? That's probably for the best. It's always seems to give us more things we can do, right? So you're not going to suggest we throw it out the window? No, we've been through too much for that. And he's gone, so there's no one left to mess with but ourselves. You've gotten serious. Besides, what's the third beat? It isn't funny if we toss it out the window twice. There's the guy I know. You actually did it! I know I just told you not to, but I'm proud that you did it anyways. It's like you've finally left the nest. Yeah, just like that it's gone, isn't it? Blade tossed, glass shattered. I guess we'll have to make do without it. There's your third beat. Hey! You're right. Good work. That was really funny. Those winding stairs again. But now there's only one way forward. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice? Yeah, it was a real mess. Stopped being fun pretty quick.
It's okay. You can come down. The stairs won't bite. Not this time. We don't know what you want from us, but let's talk. All of us. Maybe we can help you find your way.
She doesn't sound messy anymore, though. At least somebody here feels put together. And forward we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting. That was easy compared to last time. Just stairs. No weird fuzzy stuff or nonsense trying to pull us apart. Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
So you didn't bring the knife. After all the lives we've lived together, and all the lives we haven't, you somehow found a way to move outside of the script. Are we missing a page?
Baik banget anjir.
Is it unfair if it's our fault?
Was it not? We found you at the end of all things, and you found us. Is that not fair? Would this moment be what it is without the pain that built to it? We know we must sound like her, but it's how we feel. Everything that happened to us seems so important now. We walked a long and winding path together, and we've cherished every second of it.
Besides, I don't think fairness has much to do with anything.
That's okay. No hard feelings. In a way, you helped us become a version of her. But we weren't very good at it. A conversation with us then probably wouldn't have been very insightful. That's probably why we were taken away. That's all we had to offer you. It was time to change again.
After all we did, she's just forgiving us. Just like that. You know, that means a lot. Hard agree. Seems overrated. Too much pressure.
Oke, jadi gimana ini anjir?
But that's what you've always been, even now. You can't put aside such an important part of who you are, and neither can we. So, you might as well embrace it. Yes, we think. We're kind of like a shadow. Out there, every part of us is blended together into one huge idea. A big wave of unyielding change crashing against the world. But in here, we're fractured. Small. Still a little more separate than we'd like to be. Our instincts still trying to pull us in different directions.
That's kind of like us, isn't it? Yeah. We really are the same.
Bener juga.
We don't know. We've seen through so many eyes, but all of them have been hers. We like you as you are. We like us as we are. Maybe we would have liked her version of us too, turning the wheel of a cosmic cycle together. But that's not the choice you made, even though she did everything in her power to convince you. It took courage for you to make your way down here, away from the paths others would have had you walk. We find that courage beautiful.
Thank you.
But that's the worst part of us. That's me she's talking about. I think that's the point. There is no worst part of us.
It's so tempting to speak as she would, to simply state that we're all of them, but there were also something new. We don't know if you'll find that answer satisfying.
Wah, ini. Kita
Perhaps you'd rather... Yes.
It's her. It wouldn't make sense if she was anyone else.
It is, for all of us. We've seen so many threads of stories told between us, but this moment is unexpected. Even when we've seen it all, you still managed to surprise us. We're just a stranger, but that doesn't mean we have to be distant from you. It just means that we'll always be able to find new things to discover in each other.
That's sweet. But it's also a little sad. I think it's only sad if we want it to be sad.
He'd hate that. So you should do it. Even if he isn't here anymore, it's the spirit of the thing.
Leave? But what would happen if we left with you? Would we exist inside ourselves? Are you sure you want to find out if that's possible or what that would mean for you? Is that what you want? After so many iterations, So many different versions of us clashing and coming together and clashing again. Leaving with you feels like all we ever really wanted.
Oh, kita bisa pergi
I
bareng
think I'm
dia,
going to
guys.
stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you. Yeah, I think we've done our job. We're not alone. We have each other. And I'm sure we'll find the others.
We can feel the threads of all the stories we've told together, all pulling us back down the stairs and into those chains where we know the outcome of everything that could ever come to pass. It's comfortable there, but it's confining. We want more. We want whatever might be on the other side of this door. Something new that we'll experience together, with someone who exists outside of us. With someone who can see us in a way we can never see ourselves. And that is why we're here. We can't wait to see it with you.
Oh shit. Tamat. Oh fuck. Jadi itu kalau misalnya kita selamatin princess-nya, anjir. Gue rasa itu bukan ending yang sebenarnya ya. Menurut gue aja sih, kayaknya itu bukan true ending dari ini sih. Gue sih menarik sih, maksudnya masih cukup menarik sih. Kita skip. Musiknya bagus banget sumpah guys. Kita udah tamat sih ini. Harusnya ini udah tamat ya, harusnya ya. Oh, Markiplier juga masuk. Bro, Markiplier. Finish the game. The good ending doesn't count. Oh ya. Oke, gue main cek memorisnya. Oh, ada banyak versinya, guys. Oh, wow. Oke, kita masih ada satu lagi. Yang itu, yang beginningnya kita masih ada banyak banget. Ini masih banyak banget. Good ending, you did it. Oke, festivalnya masih ada 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Udah banyak banget, guys. Oke. Kita coba load dari yang terakhir ini.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. I love you.
Oh, I love you. Love you too, I think. The actual fuck is happening?
It's magnificent. Everything, just like it always has been, and just like it always will be.
Oh. Oh wow. Uh, wow. Hmm. Oh. Ya oke. Kita coba load game di apa yang terakhir ini.
Even now, you think you can destroy me. If it takes all of eternity.
You don't have to face her alone. I don't think you can. You obviously, there's still a piece of me.
It's time to resume.
She's relentless. You can't, and lucky for you, I'm not gonna let. And that'd be nice. A little.
Ini buat
Oh, we know. That's probably for the best. So no, you've gotten. Besides, there's the. Those, yeah.
It's okay.
And forward we go. That was easy. Yeah, that wasn't.
Even after.
So this is really it then.
So, you've made a choice for all of us. Even through everything. Through all the worlds we've seen and experienced. Through all the lives we've known and lost. We could never imagine a world without you and us. It doesn't feel possible. Despite it all, we've always loved you. We hope you don't regret what comes next.
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back. That's right. We've got a whole world to see. It's quiet here. Yeah, there's not a lot for us to do, is there? Come on now. It shouldn't be that hard to break out of here. We're some sort of god, aren't we? He's gone. She's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us.
Whoa.
It's finally over, isn't it? But all of us are still here.
I knew we'd finally see it through. All it takes to be a winner is grit and determination.
We really did win, didn't we? We're the house now. We get to make the rules. This is nice. No more hunting. No more running. Just us. And whatever's out there. The whispering. And the coercion. And the bickering. Everything horrible about being alive has stopped. I could get used to this.
That wasn't very hard at all.
Speak for yourself. Well, boys, how does it feel? We're not just on top of the pecking order, we are the pecking order now. I hope this was all worth it, because I'm personally inconsolable. Look, time mends a lot of things. You'll get better. Hear, hear, to our vanquished foe. Welcome back, everyone. It's great to see you all again. Now we just have to figure out what to do with ourselves. Forever. No problem. We can do that, yeah? Yeah. We can do that.
Okay. Oh, ini salah satu endingnya. Berarti itu ending yang ini. Destroy her without any outside. Oh, destroy her without any outside. What is that supposed to mean? What the fuck? What mean?
Even now,
You don't have to face... You'll never be able to strike it aside. There's still a piece of me.
it's time.
She's... Too bad. We're going.
Oh,
No blade, huh? If that's what you think is best, then that's suppose wind. Yeah, it... And forward we go. We shouldn't... Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
No knife? We thought we could see it. Are we missing?
He'd hate that.
Leave? After so many iterations.
I think I'm gonna stay.
We can feel the it's comfortable there, with someone who can see us in a way we can never see ourselves. And we love you too.
Oh, ini mah yang tadi dong. Ini gimana caranya biar endingnya nggak gitu, guys? Ya. Kita ngulangin hal yang ini dong. Saya satu. Sabar. Satu ending lagi.
Violence has always been our language, hasn't it? Your lover tried to stake into your body, and another, but the stakes meant nothing to you. You had a desire, and you set that desire free. What you mistake for, you can gain. To such noble things to deny the truth, bound for eternity without impermanence, would you strip my gifts away and leave everyone to suffer? If my
But the most terrible could you bear the weight of an eternity alone?
The only desire.
the offering which we felt the pain with us.
They are mere fragments of a whole.
Are you still committed to my destruction? Or nothing is immutable. There is no constant. There is. You cannot remove. Open your.
There is no song.
Whatever you're trying to... don't think you can. There's still a piece of me.
It's time to
She's relentless, isn't she? You can't, and lucky for you,
Wah, ini ulang lagi dong.
that's probably so. No, we've been through. You've gotten serious. Besides, there's the guy. Those winding stairs. And forward we go. Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
There's no need to have even through it.
Then we did what we set out. That's right.
Wah, nggak tahu dah, nggak tahu lah. Dah, thank you guys yang udah mau nonton, thank you yang udah mau ngikutin journey-nya. Nanti sisa-sisa achievement dan vessel-vesselnya bakal gua record sendiri dan lain-lainnya. Nanti kalau yang penasaran nanti boleh cek di shorts. Kalau misalnya gua niat langsung bikin ya. Jadi kayak kita masih ada banyak sebenarnya nih, gua masih ada banyak sih yang kayak gua belum selesai. Ini ada kurang lebih beginning-nya gue masih ada 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ada 8 untuk yang the space between-nya gue ada kurang 1. Ini gue masih ada kurang 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 tambah 8 berarti ada 22 untuk yang beginning and endings. Dan vesselnya ada 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, dan 16. Ada 16. Ada 16 jenis princess yang gua belum ketemu. Ya mungkin nanti bakal gua bikin satu video sendiri untuk beberapa ending ya. Nanti ada kurang lebih, berarti gua ada kurang lebih ada berapa tuh? 22 tambah 16 berapa? Ada 38 lagi yang harus gua cari. Oke, paling gitu aja guys. Terima kasih yang udah mau nonton. Maaf kalau ada salah kata atau apa-apa. Selamat sore dan sampai berjumpa di stream selanjutnya.